You're a brokey. I hear you through the screen now claiming cap, but you and I both know all I spew is facts. Don't worry bro, I feel you. So I'm low-key finna teach you how to cook on the stock market and secure the bag type stuff. First order of business, words. The amount of cringe words in the stock market is completely out of pocket and an absolute L. It's giving finance bros just wanted new words they can yap away and sound smart. Don't worry though, we're finna break it down respectfully. Stock. When you cop a stock in a company, you are literally copying a piece of that company. So if you cop a single stock in a company called Yapazon, you own a very low-key piece of Yapazon. This puts you in your shareholder era, making you a real one of the company. But how can this get your bread up? Well, say Yapazon comes out with new drip that low-key slaps. Because of this, the chat might think, bro, let's go secure some Yapazon stock, it's busting right now on Gang. So more NPCs start buying stock in Yapazon, or in other words, the demand's body count goes hard. And when the demand cooks, the price gets out of pocket. But you bought your stock before the price went out of pocket, so now you can sell that stock for more than you bought it for and secure the bag. Or if you think the stock is low-key still slept on, you can let it live rent-free in your portfolio like a real one and sell it later. Congrats, you just finessed the stock market respectfully. But that new drip from Yapazon could also be really mid, and then none of the NPCs would vibe with the stock. Demand drops, your ops start selling, the price becomes a massive L, and you fumble the bag. That chat right there is risk and reward lore. Dividends. A dividend is a very low-key bag that the company gives to shareholders every so often. The size of the bag depends on the vibe of the stock and how much of it you copped. So if a company has a 2% dividend and your bro cops $100 of stock, the company will clap back with $2 periodically. But if the company's stock solos and the price gets out of pocket and doubles, your bro's stock is now worth a calm little $200 and the dividend will be $4 respectfully. But if he really wants racks on racks on racks, your bro finna take all those dividends and just cop more stock. Then the next dividend will be slightly more valid, cop more stock, slightly more valid, caught more stock. I think you catch my drift. This is compound interest lore. Bonds. You might now think you're the CEO of stocks and dividends, but you're not a real one unless you know why bonds are built different. Bond lore is when a company finesses your dough, but instead of leaving you on red, they give it back with a little sum sprinkled in. Example, if you give a company a calm lil band, they'll clap back with 20 bucks every few months, and after a hot minute, give you your whole bag. Chat asks if this is an infinite money glitch. While the risk is more low-key than a stock, bonds can still throw hands with your bank account. See, the company that took your calm low band could just get canceled, and if they get canceled, they become brokies and the bank account is no longer valid. Therefore, they do you dirty and ghost you. This is default risk lore. Bonds that are based also come with bigger potential bag, but might get canceled. So you can do 800 credit score activities and secure a ton of low risk, calm low bag type bonds, or you can put it all on black and go high risk, big money type bonds. Funds. Alright, we finna speed round this hoe. Index funds, hedge funds, mutual funds. Index funds. A way to cop stock in a valid market or any company that passes the vibe check, like the S&P 500, where you can cop stock in all the top 500 companies at once. Hedge funds. The entire chat pools their bread and lets a top G invest it, typically with a super extra portfolio to get higher returns than a single NPC could get with their own bag. Mutual funds. A collab of the previous two, where the whole chat pools their money again, but this time they let it live rent-free in an index fund where a boomer decides what investments pass the vibe check. W speed round. Also, it's low-key important to know you can't just cop stock in any NPC company. Some L companies live stream privately, which means if you want to cop, you have to catch hands personally and see if bro will let you in on it. So what about companies that live stream publicly? Well, when a company decides to boot up the stream and make that hoe public, they basically say, let the NPC brain rot zombies come buy our stock and give our company a glow up. The two big spots companies live stream are the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. Once they start streaming, they declare how many bands one stock is worth, cross their fingers, and see if it cooks or turns out to be an L. If NPCs buy, it cooks, and if NPCs don't, the bag gets deviously fumbled. Let's recap. If your bro copped a Yapazon stock today, he'd literally be buying a piece of Yapazon. If the vibe for a single Yapazon stock becomes more and more valid, your boy can sell the piece of Yapazon to some other NPC for a profit. But if instead the vibe gets less valid and he sells it to some NPC, he loses bread. Yapazon might also clap back with dividends every 3 or so months and pay your bro a percentage of the vibe of the stock. Now, you low-key know what stocks are, but how do you actually secure the bag? What specifically should you do to win that bread? Start by investing in a tough tee from thismerch.com to be a real one and help support the channel and get some drip in the process. After that, you gotta know the two big stock market vibes: investing and trading. Trading is what you see from the ops, here, here, and here. This is when you cop some stock in a random company because it looks like it might cook, and then when it does cook, you sell immediately, finessing that bag, and repeat for a ton of random companies. The reason this is an L is that it low-key doesn't work. It's mostly just pick-me finance bros trying to sell you a course, but it's speculative, and you're respectfully finna lose just as much dough as you secure, and so in my humble opinion, it's not worth it. Investing is a slightly different vibe. This is when you cop stock in a company that you think is slept on and high-key underrated. You cop with the intent to keep your dough in that company for a hot minute, like 5 to 10 years. This is what you see from these bros. It's the long, boring way that will make you stupid rich, making your bag absolutely gargantuan. Actually not capping here. Trust. And that's the course, chat. Also, I charge for financial longevity and big money mentality, and it's finna cost 1 subscribe. We also have this screen that'll ask you some questions.